Good morning, welcome to Headline Focus here live on Core Politics with me, Rob Double. It is Thursday the 22nd of February 2018. Let's have a look at what's making the political news today. So, Brexit and Chequers away day is the key thing coming through most of the papers today and indeed the news. The 11-strong Brexit War Cabinet Committee will meet this afternoon at the Prime Minister's country residence over in Buckinghamshire in Chequers alongside the Prime Minister. The idea of this is to actually figure out and come to an agreement on the government's Brexit policy, particularly the EU-UK relationship after Brexit and how close the UK is going to align itself with the EU and how close the relationship is going to be. So the committee consists of Philip Hammond, the Chancellor, Amber Rudd, Home Secretary, Boris Johnson, Foreign Secretary, David Davis, Brexit Secretary, Michael Gove, who's the Environment Secretary, David Lidington, Liam Fox, Karen Bradley, Gavin Williamson and Greg Clark, with of course the Prime Minister leading it as well. They're not the only people in the room, though. It's going to include senior advisors, such as Cabinet Secretary Jeremy Hayward, Robbie Gibb, who's the Comms Director for Number 10, and Theresa May's Chief of Staff, Gavin Barwell, as well. Brexit advisor Ollie Robbins will be there as well. And UK representatives for the EU, such as several UK EU ambassadors, will be there as well to give their thoughts on how the reaction of several EU 27 states might be to various options, which are going to be discussed this afternoon. The UK permanent representative to the EU, Tim Barrow, will be there as well as the ambassador to France, Ed Llewellyn. Now, a lot of people in the room, a lot of viewpoints. Obviously, the key thing is going to be whether the senior ministers, senior cabinet ministers, the Philip Hammond versus Boris Johnson, are going to be able to come to a compromise, particularly over alignment this evening, whereby there is going to be consistency of government policy, where Theresa May, the Prime Minister, can then next week give her big speech, her next big Brexit speech, which gives further meat to the bone about what the government's position is going to be. This is, of course, pending negotiations with the EU, but it will be a significant milestone again in the Brexit negotiations and clarity on Brexit. Final agreement is, of course, unlikely today, but what it should be is a broad agreement about the actual overall set relationship with the EU after Brexit. So very, very important day, very interesting day as well. And we're really interested to see what will come out of this, probably into the late hours of tonight. Next up, though, keeping on Brexit alley, Labour are also putting more meat on the bones of their Brexit policy as well. Jeremy Corbyn is going to tell us what Labour's policy on Brexit actually is next week on Monday. No, he's going to do this in a speech. Now, in terms of what Labour policy has been, it's always been using sound bites such as maintaining the benefits of the customs union and single market, but not actually being in the customs union and single market. A Brexit that works for everyone, Brexit for the many, not the few. A jobs first Brexit is another sound bite that's come out. There has actually been very little consistency, but also policy around what Labour is actually going to propose for a Brexit agreement. This will hopefully change come Monday. This is amid mounting pressure on Jeremy Corbyn, first off to reveal what the Labour position is, but also from his own party to actually show his hand as to where he personally is going to see the UK-EU relationship. Now, there is mounting pressure on Jeremy Corbyn from in his party to accept some kind of single market access and customs union access in terms of a Brexit deal, a soft Brexit. People like Chuka Umunna really leading a campaign within the party to try and get Jeremy Corbyn to come with them down the soft Brexit route. That's still unconfirmed. However, there is a lot of talk around the customs union. Now, the customs union is going to be really significant politically. If Jeremy Corbyn decides that Labour is going to back staying in the customs union with the EU, they could potentially force the government into a defeat in Parliament, which would mean that the government, their Brexit policy would then be not in tatters, but severely dented in terms of confidence as well in the government's policy. And it will mean that a real change in where the UK-EU relationship is going to be, because there are probably enough Conservative MPs who will vote with Labour MPs on a customs union agreement to force the government into a defeat. Now, the rumour is that Corbyn's view is changing. He has historically been anti-customs union, anti-single market, or at least that's been the sense. Maybe perhaps he's drifting to more a softer Brexit, a more customs union relationship. We'll just have to wait and see. But that's a big event coming up on Monday. He told the EEF conference we have to have a customs union. What that means, we do not know, but hopefully we'll find out soon. Final story then comes slightly differently. You might have watched the Brit Awards last night, celebrating the creativity and innovation and excellence in music, but also got rather political as well. Grime superstar Stormzy got very political, in fact, where he picked up Best Album and Best Male Artist last night, but also decided to use it as an opportunity to attack Theresa May, the Prime Minister. He asked Theresa May very probably, where's the money for Grenfell, and rapped a rather harsh, but also very, very critical piece to Theresa May about her actions in terms of the Grenfell fire, which of course happened last year, in which many people died, and which is still ongoing in terms of rehabilitation of the people and the victims who have been involved. He also lashed out the Daily Mail newspaper as well. No response yet from number 10 Downing Street. We'll have to see today in the hours to come whether they will offer a response to Stormzy. That's pretty much it for today. You're up to date. Don't forget you can find all the latest on what we're doing here on Core Politics on our Facebook page and Twitter right here. But from me and all the team here at Core London, have a fantastic start to your day.